This video discusses a disturbing and violent crime. Viewer discretion is advised. On the morning of November 9th, 1979, a farmer in the town of Caledonia, New York, saw something suspicious in his cornfield. He called the police and reported that he had spotted a possible trespasser. Livingston County Sheriff, John York, arrived at the scene. He soon realized that what the farmer really saw was the deceased body of a young girl. The girl's body was then brought to the coroner's office, where an autopsy was performed. The results were that the young girl had died from severe brain hemorrhage from being shot in the back of her head. Even though the coroner figured out how the young girl died, no one had a clue what her name was. Because of this, she was given the name Caledonia Jane Doe. Even though at the time her true identity was unknown, other details were discovered about the girl. She was wearing a red nylon men's windbreaker jacket, a boy's multicolored button-up shirt with a collar, tan corduroy pants, and brown rippled sole shoes. The girl was also wearing a silver Native American style necklace with blue stones. She had light brown wavy shoulder-length hair, which had been dyed blonde a couple months before. Her body had visible tan lines in various areas. Because of this, the police believed that she was from a location that received abundant amount of sunlight in the October and November months. They determined that she was from out of state. Her teeth were in natural condition, and it was determined that she never received any dental work. Some of her permanent molars had suffered from severe cavities. Another interesting piece of evidence was found on her body. Two metal keychains that she had attached to the belt loop of her pants. One was shaped as a key, and the other was shaped as a heart. Engraved on it was, "He who holds the key can open my heart." A waitress at the Lima Diner in New York claimed to have sighted her eating dinner with an older man the night before she died. This is a sketch of the man she was seen with. It is believed that he is involved with her murder, but he has never been identified. Caledonia Jane Doe was eventually buried in the Dansville Cemetery, but in year 2005, her body was exhumed from her grave to collect DNA evidence to help her get identified. No one ever gave up hope to giving back the name to a young girl whose life was stolen from her. In year 2014, a woman named Laurel Noel was trying to get in contact with one of her friends she went to high school with back in the late 1970s in Florida. She had not heard from her since. The friend she was trying to contact was a girl named Tammy Jo Alexander. Laurel tried searching for Tammy's contact information online, but couldn't find anything. She eventually contacted Tammy's half-sister, Pamela Dyson, who also didn't know where Tammy was, and who also haven't heard from her in a long time. Tammy Jo Alexander had a history of running away from home often. Since no one knew where Tammy was, Pamela Dyson feared that her sister may have fallen victim to a crime. Pamela Dyson soon found out from the Hernando County Sheriff's Office in Florida that no missing persons report was available for Tammy Jo Alexander. In the summer of year 2014, Tammy Jo Alexander was entered into the missing persons database. Months later, through DNA testing, she was positively identified as Caledonia Jane Doe. Caledonia Jane Doe was Tammy Jo Alexander. According to Pamela Dyson's recollections, Pamela claimed that Tammy lived in a turbulent household with her mother, Barbara Jenkins, who was addicted to prescription drugs and who would often fly into violent rages and temper tantrums. Tammy Jo Alexander would often run away from home to escape her hostile household. Her sister Pamela always believed that Tammy was alive the whole time and had started a family and was living someplace safe. Eventually, Caledonia Jane Doe's headstone was replaced with a headstone that read Tammy Jo Alexander, along with a bench made of wood from Vietnam. In June 2015, a memorial service was held at the Dansville Cemetery. Pamela Dyson attended the memorial service and said these words for a sister who was taken from her.
I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has came here to help us celebrate the life of Tammy Jo, because the short time we had her deserves a celebration. I wanted you to know a few things about the girl who has been so loved in your community. Tammy Jo was a sweet and gentle person who used to use her beautiful smile to hide her pain. She was outgoing and friendly, adventurous, and perhaps a little mischievous. None of us knew or imagined the horror Tammy might meet. I never for a moment thought my sister could be deceased. In my mind, she was living happily somewhere with a man she loved and children she doted on. It never occurred to me that someone would murder my sister, and even now in my mind, I cannot understand why. I never understand how anybody could look into her beautiful eyes and take her life in such a vicious way that they did. When I was first contacted by the lady who told me about Caledonia Jane Doe, I said, oh, no way. That can't be my sister. That could not have been her fate. Tammy deserved so much more in life. She deserved not to have her life taken. She deserved to grow up and to grow old. When I was asked where I wanted Tammy's final resting place, I responded without hesitation that I wished for her to stay here. Home was not a place that was happy to be. She clearly felt the need to escape. Along with the great amount of love and compassion she was shown by this community, made my decision easy. It is with bitter irony that this place, her life on earth, ended. So I remind myself, is also the place where her life began in heaven. I can almost see her there laughing and teasing and smiling and dancing and singing, that beautiful smile on her face. She looks down knowing that she has always been loved and she was never forgotten. Until I see you again, you'll forever be in our hearts. Thank you.
In my opinion, Tammy Jo Alexander's life was completely unfair. Every child should feel safe at their own home. The fact that she had to run away to escape her turbulent household makes her story absolutely tragic. No child should ever feel the need to do that. For a young girl who will forever be 16 years old, may Tammy Jo Alexander rest in peace, and may her spirit roam freely through the Summerlands for eternity.